Peace to everyone today. Today's text comes from Revelation chapter 1, verses 12 to 17. I turned around to see the voice that was speaking to me. And when I turned, I saw 7 golden lampstands. And among the lampstands was someone like a son of man, dressed in a robe reaching down to his feet and with a golden sash around his chest. The hair on his head was white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were like blazing fire. His feet were like bronze glowing in a furnace, and his voice was like the sound of rushing waters. In his right hand he held 7 stars, and coming out of his mouth was a sharp, double-edged sword. His face was like the sun, shining in all its brilliance. When I saw him, I fell at his feet as though dead. Then he placed his right hand on me and said, "Do not be afraid. I am the first and the last." Today we begin reading together the book of Revelation. This is one of the most difficult books in the Bible because it uses lots of images that were clear to people in Judea 2,000 years ago, but they aren't immediately clear to us in Taiwan today. One of the common mistakes we can make when reading this book is to think that, well, it only talks about the end of the world. But if this was the case, the book would have been useless to all Christians in the church over the last 2,000 years, and it would have nothing to say to us today. Of course, this is very wrong. The book of Revelation has had an important message to tell all people in all ages of the church. It was because the book had this message that the early church decided to include it in the Bible. But what is that message? To put it simply, the message of the book of Revelation is that Jesus Christ is our Lord and our God. And not just our Lord and God, but the Lord and God of the whole world. In this world, there will be political leaders who want us to believe that they are our lords and masters, but we Christians can never accept this type of thinking. In the early years of the church, the Roman Empire was ruled by the Emperor Domitian. This emperor spoke of himself as God on earth and demanded that all people, including the Christians, come and worship him as God. Of course, this is something that the Christians refused to do, and because of their faith, many Christians were killed. Domitian also had a young son, but he died very young. After his death, Domitian printed a new coin with a picture of his son sitting like a ruler on top of the world and controlling the 7 stars that determined the fate and happiness of all people. When people saw this coin, the message was clear. Domitian is the divine father, and his dead son still rules as a god from beyond the grave, controlling the lives of all people. So all people in the empire must worship them. But for John and the Christians, Domitian and his son were false gods, distracting us from God the Father and his true Son, Jesus Christ. For John, Christ is the true God. Christ is the one who holds those 7 stars in his hands. Christ is the one who protects and rules. In this world, there will always be rulers who pretend to be divine, who demand the worship and the loyalty of people. But the book of Revelation makes it clear from the very start. Our true Lord is Jesus Christ. He is our true God. He is the one who deserves absolute loyalty and praise. In a world that surrounds us even today with so many false gods, this is an important message for us to remember.